So the other day, me and this girl was getting into the mood, and she told me, I need to, trim the yard.
Oh, damn.
And I don't, do you have any recommendations?
You know what? Funny you say that because I got in a similar situation. I had to do some digging. I found some shit, bro. I got to put you on.
Please do.
It's called Manscaped, and Manscaped gave us a code that I want you to use. You can get 20% off, bro.
Get out of here.
And y'all too. Wrap in order 20. You use that. You go to manscaped.com. Get 20% off your order.
Wow, she is going to be so happy.
And, she won't have no hair on her teeth.
And your balls will thank you.
And welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
Today, guys, well, before we do that, I realize we always get into these albums and we don't talk about how each other's doing. Like, how are you today?
I break bread, ribs, $100 bills. I feel good.
I feel great, man. I'm tired of this fucking weather. It's sus.
Omarion is in the atmosphere, right?
Yeah, yo, I'm fucking terrified of this shit, man. I don't know what to do.
Every sports team that I see on the news right now has it. The whole LA Rams team has it. The whole Chicago Bulls has it.
Yeah.
All of the Brooklyn Nets have it. James Harden gave it to everybody. Everybody but Kevin Durant got it.
We never going back outside. Like, we was really close this time.
Yeah, we was close.
We was really close to taking these masks off and getting back to normal. I felt it.
And then Omarion came through dancing, pop locking, and sliding.
With the red coat?
Yeah, the red coat. And he just messed everybody up, man. I genuinely, I'm very, very, very scared of it. Like, you keep hearing, like, oh man, like once you start hearing athletes getting that shit, and these some of the peak, the peak humans.
Yeah, but athletes be out here wilding when they're not on the court though.
They do, but I'm just saying, I just feel like they should have the genetics, their body should be able to fight this shit off.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, LeBron not getting this shit.
Yeah,
ain't no way.
I feel like LeBron, like, he got that shit for a day, and that $1 million kicked in that he put into his body.
They put him in that fucking chamber.
Yeah,
and they was like, "Yo, just stay there."
They put him in his Goku chamber. Yeah,
just stay there for like 3 hours.
They got him out that shit. Only LeBron and Terrell Owens got that chamber.
But today we're gonna get into H.N.I.C. H.N.I.C is the official debut album from Prodigy. It was released in November of 2000, and I know originally it was supposed to come out in September of that year, but it got pushed back, had some delays, but it finally came out. I think it went gold, right? Official production, of course, from Havoc. He had Bink on there. He had Rockwaller, Just Blaze, Rick Rude, The Alchemist, of course.
Yes.
But he led with the single "Keep It Thorough," which
course.
really took off for him.
Right? There was no other option but for that song to be the lead single. On the album.
and it's not your typical single, especially for 2000s, around the 2000s time. Like, he came out with a song that didn't have a hook, and I think it did have a hook officially, but they decided not to go with it because this one took off.
Right. I'm gonna tell you what I remember about this. So at this time, I had my friend. His name was Kevin. He was one of my best friends, and he had an older brother, and his older brother's name was Regg. Well, Reggie. We always call him Reggie. So he was a big ass Havoc fan, and that year, the Source named him Lyricist of the Year. So they named
Havoc.
I mean Prodigy. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. They named Prodigy Lyricist of the Year, and he bought multiple Source magazines to take the page out to put Prodigy up as Lyricist of the Year, and he hated Jay-Z. And me and Kev,
with good reason if you're a Prodigy fan.
Yeah, and me and Kev were avid Jay-Z fans. So it used to crack us up how angry he would get. So he would just play mad Prodigy, like mad Mobb Deep, mad Prodigy, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, how the fuck did Prodigy get named Lyricist of the Year? Remember, at this time, I'm like, I'm 13, 14 years old, ladies and gentlemen, right? So I didn't have adult ears. So a lot of the things that Prodigy rapped about, I didn't understand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So that, like, now I understand. I'm just saying back then. So we would have arguments, and I'll be telling him like, but Jay-Z called him Twinkle Toes, like all that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And we would just be going back and forth, and then it got to a point where Rez just started beating us up. Like, for real, he just would get mad.
So yo, y'all just gonna shut up.
Yeah, for real. Like, he would just start beating our ass. So like it came to a point. But I remember that, and as I got older, like I always had it in my head, like, all right, Reggie is somebody that I look up to and like I admire, but I don't understand this Prodigy thing. So I always had in my head that, okay, this dude who's older than me is telling me that Prodigy is one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
So then as I got older, and you know how you get older, you can revisit certain projects, and it's weird because I'm Mr. Old Head, but like I couldn't grasp Prodigy. I don't know why. As I got older, like I understood it. So I was actually really happy to revisit this album because it brought back fond memories of being at my boy Kev's house and his older brother Reggie beating us up, telling us that Prodigy is the greatest.
So my brother was a huge Prodigy fan because he was a huge Mobb Deep fan, and I just remember how he used to talk about Prodigy and how, you know, how specific he was with his lyrics and like how dark his content was. So it kind of just used to go over my head. But H.N.I.C came out at a time where I was like, hip hop was like at its like
It was at its
peak
Yeah,
in
98.
2000.
Right, 98 was the highest selling year
Yeah.
for rap, for music, period, for the music business. The highest grossing, like, selling year for music. Rap artists were getting deals that were astronomical, and it was time for Prodigy to put out a solo project.
Yeah,
So,
and hip hop became just a lot more flashy in the 2000s, like with style, with lyrics, and everything like that. But Prodigy was able to take some of those elements from, of course, his Mobb Deep days, and then make it fit in those flashier times. So it was a standout at that time. So interesting that we go back to this because I did have a change of heart a little bit. I haven't, to be honest, heard this album since the early 2000s. So I was like, yeah, when you recommended this,
services.
it's not on streaming services. It's kind of like I won't say a forgotten gem because a lot of people still know about it, and a lot of hip hop purists really fuck with this album. But yeah, it doesn't come up in conversation like that.
Yeah, it's very odd too because Alchemist kind of like this is the album that kind of made Alchemist a household name.
Yeah,
This is kind of the album that like made people know who Alchemist is and like want to like work with him and like seek him out because of what he did with Prodigy on this project.
Yeah,
This, you got to think about it. Havoc is Prodigy's partner, and like they said that when Havoc heard Alchemist's production, he really like got to work. Like, you know, they respected each other, and Alchemist pretty much credits Havoc with a lot of his influence.
yeah.
But Havoc has so much respect for Alchemist. Like he never ever like lets people say that to him. People be like, "Yo, you influenced Alchemist." Like he's like, "Nah, we equal."
Yeah, and
like, that's
Alk was on such a run because I'm looking at the dates now. This album came out in November of 2000. Jadakiss album came out in August of 2001, and he had "We Gonna Make It" on that album.
yes.
So that's like less than a year later, like two iconic beats for two separate albums.
Right. And isn't Alchemist like related to like a Hollywood actor? Like, isn't he like the
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm about to look that up.
Yeah, that sounds familiar while you look that up. So this album, you know, it fits the times of being one of the lengthier albums from that time frame. It's 22 tracks. It's not big on features. Of course, you got Havoc on here. You got Nori on here that I really enjoyed. And then he has some other names on here that people might not recognize, but he got Cormega. Cormega joint is really dope, really interesting for a lot of different reasons that we'll get into. He got some skits because skits were really big in this time frame of hip hop. But the album kicks off with Bars and Hooks.
Yes.
Bars and Hooks features Bars and Hooks, and it's produced by Prodigy himself. It's a good lead into the album. He's like, you know, saying what we can expect, right?
Yo, the way he opens this up, right? the way he opened up the album, like this just lets you know what kind of time he's on because it's pretty much giving you what it's giving you kind of like another like a deep a more intricate look into his world of Queensbridge, right? Or what I would imagine. And at that time, like cutting people in their face and carrying razors in your mouth was a big deal. Mm-hmm. That was like a huge thing. Like I was terrified of that happening to me, actually. Yeah. But like putting that in the song, like in the intro, like saying like, "Yo, get your razors out." Like
this is his like Big Body Bez.
Yeah. I feel like Big Body Bez probably listens to a lot of Prodigy.
Yeah. This is his Big Body Bez. Like Big Body Bez will definitely open an album like this for Bronson.
I think so. Like that's why I'm just like, yo, like this is nuts. And apparently, like that, they were his artists.
Yeah.
And like nothing came of it or whatever like that. Like I forget the story, but
you see like the tipping point of it. Did you read?
So hold on. So Alchemist, he was born in Beverly Hills, California. As a teenager, he began to identify strongly with rebellious lyrics and urban sounds of hip hop, and began writing his own lyrics. He's joining up. Okay, so he's not related to them, but he's friends with Scott Conn, James Conn's son.
Oh,
James Conn is Sonny from The Godfather.
Yeah.
And he's also the father in The Elf. Will Ferrell.
Got you. Yeah.
So basically, they started a rap group together, and that's what it's like. So he's best friends with Scott Conn.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the album officially kicks off music-wise with Genesis. Mm-hmm. Genesis is produced by Prodigy. A lot of people don't talk about Prodigy's production.
Right. I think they don't talk about his production because Havoc was his partner.
Yeah,
but that
exactly.
was like that was the duality that him and Havoc had. Havoc was an extraordinary producer that can hold his own with a lyricist like Prodigy, and Prodigy was an extraordinary lyricist that can actually get behind the boards and make some pretty good production.
Yeah.
So I think that like it was like they both like helped each other out, but like they don't get recognized for the other thing that they can do. Mm-hmm. Also, I want to say this: at this time, him and Nas were not on good terms, and that's why Nas is not appearing on this album. And him naming this song, the Genesis, also was a shot.
Yeah, Stillmatic came out a year later in September. So that's when he officially dissed Prodigy on Stillmatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, Prodigy's like, yo!
Yeah. So yeah, that's when not because Nas was on a little hiatus.
Nas was blacking on everybody.
Yeah,
bro.
he popped back up and he just blood.
Yo, step your game up. Yo, Nori, step your game. Like everybody. Yeah. Everybody had to step their game up.
H to the Izzo, M to the Izzo. I remember that freestyle. That came out first before the album came out. Yes, and everybody was like, okay, all right.
Yes, it did.
All right, so Drive Through Skit is next, which we can skip over that. And then after that, we got Rock That Shit. Rock That Shit is produced by Bink, and I love Bink, but I hate this song.
Yeah,
it's like you don't need it. It's it's kind of a leftover from it gives you elements of Quiet Storm, which we already have and we love, and the chorus kind of builds from Quiet Storm, and I don't like that about it.
Right. So
it's a throwaway.
I already said this beforehand. Prodigy has it's not. I don't know what it's called for the tone of his voice, but he doesn't change the tone of his voice, and he doesn't have he doesn't have a voice that you kind of like. I don't want to say don't enjoy listening to.
Like it's not engaging enough for you.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't engage you. So while you're listening to this album, you can kind of get lost if you're not focusing. Let's say if you have like ADD and you're doing something while listening to this album, I don't feel like you'll get the full impact because like his lyricism is there, but on certain songs like. If the production doesn't grab me, then I'm not gonna listen to what he got to say.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like when I was going back listening to the album, there's a message and something that he's saying in every track. But like Regg said, this is early. This is early Bink, and maybe I don't know. Maybe that was Jay-Z doing another shot. Like, yo, I'm gonna get Bink and show you what the fuck to do with this dude.
Yeah. You know, I could see Hov saying that. Like, yo, he using them wrong.
Yeah.
But I do get that. Because in a lot of ways, I think that's where Alchemist thrives because he works with people like this. And when you see his work now with Bo D. James and how they have this chemistry, I think for him, he kind of recognizes the type of voice and the kind of movement that he had with Prodigy. And he not necessarily trying to recreate that, but like that's where he thrives with his production because he knows people that rap with like that type of monotone thing.
Right.
Like his production
Because-
shines with that, and it goes so well with it.
Right, because you got to think about it like boldly, and Prodigy, like their voices don't cut through the beat. So that means like things got like their vocals got to be made higher.
Yeah,
You know, like I'm learning about vocals and everything, y'all. So like Alchemist has to like pretty much engineer as they're
yeah.
laying down their verses. So that's very interesting for you to say that, and that's
Yeah.
very true. Like
by the
you said
time
that.
by the time people hear this, Boldy got a new album out this Friday.
Okay.
That I can't wait for. It's gonna be fire. But next song that we get into is What You Rep, and it features Nori and is produced by Hangman 3. I really like this song. I like the energy of it. I like hearing Nori on this because he's so far removed from this now. Like he not necessarily far removed, but we just don't get Nori on
In my
tracks no
opinion,
more.
he's extremely far removed from that shit. Like I don't even think Nori will kill anybody anymore.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
absolutely believe Nori would kill somebody back in the day.
in that way. And like about the action, yes, he's removed from it, but like from getting records like this, I think it's gone.
Yeah, and that's okay because he's just being authentic to himself. But growing
He's in
up,
his 40s, like
yeah.
he's
He lives
he's
in
married.
Miami.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good.
He said it on Alicia Keys' interview. He said when he comes to New York, he rides around and wants to hear Empire State of Mind. I feel like Nori would never say no shit like that.
Yeah,
in
nah.
99, 2000.
I also think that's just fluff. He not saying that shit.
Yeah,
He not fucking listening to Empire State of Mind.
He might be listening to LALA, right?
Word. But the next song goes without saying. Keep It Thorough. Keep It Thorough is produced by The Alchemist.
We could have done
One
a
of
whole
the
episode
hardest
on
fucking.
Yeah.
This beat, yeah, we could. We really could.
We could do an episode on this production.
On this song alone.
This beat made Havoc feel like he had to step his shit up, and that's no disrespect to have Havoc said it out of his own mouth. That Alk came and he was very humble and told him like, yo, you influenced me, this and that, and like Havoc is looking at him like, motherfucker, do you just hear what you did? Like, it's not about like I ain't influenced this nigga. Like this is some unique shit.
Yeah, no, this shit is
was
like top shelf authentic. Like it's I never heard a beat like this before it or after it.
Yeah,
like this is authentic.
Well, he kind of like made the beat. How do I say it? To me, it comes off like he made the beat like it's a feature. It should say featuring the sample, because the sample on the track. What's the sample for this track?
The sample is Jack Mayborn's Disco People.
Okay, so like Jack Mayborn should get a credit. Like, I know he gets credit, but like he should have been named. Like how Otis Redding is
Otis,
is listed as a feature on the song Otis. Like he, like really, I wish. Like obviously we can't. God bless that. I wish that we could get a project to perform this with a live band.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be beautiful.
Amazing.
That would be so beautiful.
And it's crazy because you got to think like this was such on like radio loved this song so much it had no hook. It like defied all of the rules of what radio does. Right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like whenever like you hear like DJs talking on Hot 97, this is one of the beats that they play in the background.
Yeah, it
all
is.
the time.
It is.
Just in the background playing while they talking and shit like that. Like this is such an excellent beat.
It's and his lyrics, like everything is so menacing. Like it's fucking perfect. Like it's a perfect hip hop song. I break bread, ribs, $100 bills. Like he just like how you list that off.
I think that's one of the best openers to a rap song.
Yeah, everything he says is so chaotic. Like I throw a TV at you crazy. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
I think that's where Jadakiss got throwing a refrigerator out the window at Puff.
Yeah. You gangster, shoot me. Like
yeah.
Like what?
Nah, nigga, I'm not gonna invite that into my life. That's crazy.
You just a groupie. Oh, you a gangster? Then shoot me. Like word, nigga.
Yeah. I just think that
that's
this
next
song,
level active.
Keep it thorough. All right. So this is my thing. Keep it thorough, solidified, because Keep It Thorough is what solidified Prodigy as one of the greatest lyricists of all time. And I think this song single-handedly is what won him the lyricist of the year, and I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, he's the last relevant lyricist of the year winner at the Source, because the Source started like everything started like just getting watered down at the Source. I think that like he's the last relevant winner of that award.
Yeah.
Like this because all right, I'll give you an example, right? People always say that Andre 3000 like is in their top 5. And people's argument to that is that Andre 3000 is a group and he doesn't have a solo album. But I think that for Prodigy, this is what allowed people to be able to say that Prodigy is one of the greatest rappers of all time, because he has a decent solo career, and he has his signature song "Keep It Thorough."
Yeah. And
Like,
he was just so casually dark with the things that he would say. Like when he says, who gives a fuck really? I miss my nigga twin, kill me so I can join the rest of my forces up in the heavens. Like, that's so casual and just really dark. Like he said, yo, kill me so I can go see my mans.
But that's the crazy shit that like you hear like niggas in the projects say it just makes me think about back at that time when you would just see niggas in the projects and they would have like a Hennessy in a brown bag and they just outside like smoking blunts and shit like that, chain smoking cigarettes with they fucking big ass jeans on and Timbs with they big jackets, and they just out there just talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, this is very accurate, and I think this is why like Prodigy was very, very, very beloved. Mind you, Prodigy is like 5'5".
Yeah.
Prodigy is a very small man.
He was a short guy,
but like his the lyricism that he gave, like it spoke for like a lot of niggas in the street, because basically, a lot of people say that like Nas was the one who depicted the stories from his window, but Prodigy was in it. Even though like some people like argue that like there's a whole bunch of debunking, but I'm not getting into that. I'm getting into what Prodigy was representing, what Prodigy gave. So that's what the lyricism that he gave. Right?
Yeah,
he was in the mix.
Yeah. That takes us into Can't Complain. Can't Complain features Chinky and Big Twins. It's produced by Prodigy. I really fuck with this song as well because it has this classic Mobb Deep feel, and I was really impressed that he was able to capture that on his own and with his own production.
Yeah, I think that on this song, okay, so on this song, that's something that like for me, like it's kind of like the issue for me, right? Because it's his solo album, but basically, some people probably love it because they're just like, oh, like this is but to me, this just feels like a Mobb Deep album, and Havoc just didn't rap as much.
Yeah. Well, certain parts of it definitely feel like that, and then even the ones that Havoc produced, like for sure, like there's joints on here Havoc produced that he's not even on, that feel like he's gonna come in and rap on, but this one just felt like the Mobb feel. And I guess that's what I was saying, like how I feel. I mean, there's no comparison to the groups, but that's how I felt with Clips, where like years later I'll hear Pusha and I'll still be like, you still sound kind of off by yourself.
Right.
Like it still feel like you should be with somebody.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So like I think I kind of got that on here too, so I can see that. So we'll go into the next one, Infamous Minded. Infamous Minded is produced by
Robert
Shem Kirkland.
Kirkland.
Yeah, Infamous Minded. And it features Big Noid. How we feel?
The album started losing me.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, right? So
I don't like this beat at all.
Once we go from Infamous Minded, right? I'm not back in it until H.N.I.C.
Oh shit, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
Because Infamous Minded is what? That's number 8?
Yeah.
And then number 13. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the rest of the songs.
Word you don't like? Okay, we'll get to that.
All right, we can.
So we'll get to Wanna Be Thugs. Wanna Be Thugs is produced by Havoc, and it features Havoc. It's some good. This is that Mobb feel. Like this is like a Mobb Deep outtake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and like I said, like it starts like losing me. Like it's hard to. Like all right, put it like this: if if LaShawn was on this episode and LaShawn was a Mobb Deep fan, he would be yelling at me because he's like, "You're not giving me an explanation why you don't like this shit."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that I don't like it, but it's just like I lose interest. Like it doesn't keep my attention, and I just go to the next song.
Yeah. I like Wanna Be Thugs. I think Nori should have been on this. It just makes sense. It's called Wanna Be Thugs. The energy of it, the beat. It sounds like Nori should have been on this.
Nori probably would have brought too much energy. That's another thing. Like they have like that monotone, listen to what I say energy. So it's just like, and Nori always comes on. Like, you wanna know what's funny? I bet you a lot of people feel like Nori out rap other rappers because of the energy that he brings.
Mm-hmm.
And like Prodigy is like very much like straight face, take me seriously. I'm not gonna raise my voice.
Yeah. But I like that duality though. I do like that. Cause like in groups you kind of need that, and in features you need that. You need somebody that's like balanced and like chill, then a rowdy nigga to like turn shit up. So you get both sides. You hear all angles of different personalities.
That's true.
But 3 follows that, and it features Cormega, and it's produced by The Alchemist. This joint is hard.
Okay, the production on it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I always love a Cormega verse.
Yeah.
I always love a Cormega verse.
So it's funny because Cormega and Nas weren't necessarily good at this time, were they?
No, they weren't. No.
Yeah, so they weren't good at this time. Prodigy was working with Cormega, and then a year later, Stillmatic came out, and yeah.
Yeah. Nas was mad at all them niggas, and he was like, fuck everybody.
He was just stewing because Nas was still quiet at this time.
Yeah, he was. But you remember, like, Nas was taking care of stuff because his mom wasn't doing well.
Oh, yeah, Miss Jones.
Yeah. So his mom was ill at this time, so Nas was taking care of that stuff and just kind of laying low. Because he wasn't, like, people say he was quiet, but you got to remember, like, the album that came out in 99 was Nostradamus.
Oh, yeah.
And then he put out Stillmatic in 2001.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people say Nas was quiet, and Nas wasn't quiet.
I guess people say Nas was quiet because we didn't hear from him until when the Takeover came out early.
Takeover came out like summer of 2001.
Yeah.
So it came out in like I want to say like July. Summer Jam was right before Labor Day weekend, right? So it was like end of August. So Summer Jam was end of August, beginning of September. I believe it's end of August because it always ends off the summer, right? Takeover came out that July, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Right, and it wasn't the whole version. It was two verses.
Yeah.
So it's just funny because back then people always took their time with projects.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is the thing that changed is that Jay-Z started putting out albums every year.
Yeah.
And then so it started getting sped up. But if you really think about it, most artists would take 2 or 3 years to make an album.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that people were saying he was quiet because Jay-Z was putting out so much music.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z didn't give you a chance. Like if you didn't like something from Jay-Z, he didn't give you a chance to dwell on it. And because remember,
a year later he was back.
Right, he put out Volume 1, niggas didn't like it. He put out Streets is Watching, and then put out Volume 2.
Which is insane. Niggas he was dropping an album every year from 96 to 2003.
Dropping an album every year, making sure there was a summer banger. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was always something like that he did. So it was just the consistency.
Yeah.
But like that's why I say like when everybody always tells that story like Nas wasn't doing that, I'm like Nostradamus came out in 99. Mm-hmm. 2001 Stillmatic came out.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I kind of just got used to saying that.
Yeah.
Dealt with the bullshit. It features Havoc. It's produced by Havoc. It's some more classic Mobb.
Yeah, it's more classic Mobb Deep, and I felt like I heard it already.
Yeah, this could have been on Murder Music.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, I hate this. I hate this. I feel like I'm gonna be called the hater.
Trials of Love features BKDEU. Am I saying that right?
It's BK. I got BK, aka Ms. Bars.
Ms. Bars, yes.
So
and it's produced by The Alchemist.
If I'm not mistaken, Ms. Bars is in the battle rap scene.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, and I don't know I don't think she's been on anyone else's album besides Prodigy.
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean,
I like this beat a lot. I like the beat. I like Prodigy in this zone because you got a piece of this with Hey Love.
Yeah.
With Havoc and 112.
Ah man.
Yeah.
That just took me back. when you was in school, did you write the letters with like you would like say what period you was in and what time of the day it was
Yes.
and all that shit?
Yeah,
And then you would write the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a girl wrote me that and said "Hey Love" was the song she was thinking of. I
Oh,
thought that was
word?
cool. Yeah, man.
That's fire.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dee. What's up?
Hey, Didi, I hope you are well out there. Didi probably married now.
Dee does have a baby.
Oh, that's nice.
Dee does have a baby.
Look at that. All right, well, H.N.I.C, this is for you.
Yes, I enjoy. Like this is the title track,
Mm-hmm.
right? I just
Love
like,
title tracks. They're important.
yeah, they're important, and I like it because he was just explaining why he's the H.N.I.C on this track, and it's pretty dope to me. I enjoyed it, and I wish that Prodigy was more. I wish that he was more outspoken. I don't know how to explain it, but I just wish that he was more outspoken. And this is something that I just think that because of the kind of person that he was, it's just that like, you know, because he's very like low key. Like he's always like observing everything that's going on around him. He's very paranoid. We know he's a conspiracy theorist, and like he's always watching people wondering what their ulterior motives are. His interviews, like he gives interviews and stuff like that, but like his interviews aren't very. They don't have.
They aren't like that insightful.
Yeah. Right, because he's very guarded. So I always wish that a lot of people don't know this. Originally, Puffy was trying to sign Mobb Deep very, very heavily when they first came out. He shot the video for Survival of the Fittest.
Oh yeah, I know that part.
So I have a humongous theory that if Mobb Deep signed to Bad Boy, that their status would be in, like I still feel like they would have got the music that we have, right? Obviously, it wouldn't be identical, right? Because Puff would have his influence, but it probably would have given Havoc more free reign to do certain things. I feel like Mobb Deep would be a bigger group. I feel like if they signed a Bad Boy, Mobb Deep would be the biggest group of hip hop.
Yeah. How'd you feel about on that subject? How'd you feel about Mobb Deep's run with G Unit?
It was cool. I liked it because according to Prodigy, that was the most money that he's ever made. So like they got their just due with that, and they finally got to like, like reap the benefits of like the work that they put in the hip hop.
Yeah.
So that was like great for them. But I mean, it's kind of watered down because they're Mobb Deep and they're signing. Like I get it. Like it was dope. Like it was like 50 Cent from Queens. Like it was all the Queens love and everything like that. And Prodigy was like extremely loyal to 50.
Yeah,
like,
they had G Unit tattoos.
Yeah, like I mean, shit. The feds came to him and well, no, it wasn't the feds. I forgot which one of the three letters came to him according to Prodigy and said, "Yo, set 50 up. Like, let us know like what if he got guns." And like Prodigy refused, and he lived to talk about it.
Yeah,
but, the G Unit run, I really like. I thought it was cool for them, but I didn't care for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's when. It was at that time that, and I guess I'll just add this before we move on, but it was at that time where 50 was just trying to grab everybody. I'll never forget that XXL cover where it was like a fold-in, and you pulled out the rest of the cover, and all these people was on it that was on G Unit, and I'm like, oh my God, bro, like he's snatching up everybody.
Right, and I mean, I could tell that he actually liked all the artists that he was
signing.
Like that.
Yeah, it was.
Remember when 50 Cent was hanging out with LL Cool J all the time because he was trying to.
Yeah, he was trying to.
album?
I remember that. Yo, 50 was on a tear.
It's fucking crazy.
Veterans Memorial is the next one because we're gonna skip over Be Cool.
Okay.
So Veterans Memorial is produced by The Alchemist.
By Alk.
Yeah. How we feel about this one?
This one was a cool tribute. I mean, it was to like the fallen soldiers in the street. And it was cool. Like I think that that's something that like always probably I think like Prodigy suffered from survivor's remorse.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so a lot. Like I think that he always felt guilty that like like he made it out, and a lot of people that were around him that were losing their lives. I think he felt guilty about that, and you could tell that a lot in his music.
Damn. Prodigy shared like a take on this song from Getting It Made.
Okay.
He said, I remember when we found Veterans Memorial beat, and he was like, "Yo, this is perfect, man. I had this song written, and this is the perfect beat." He felt the beat captured what he was trying to say. The song was really emotional. I got this autographed championship jersey from Ron Artest, and it says, "To Alchemist, the producer of Veterans Memorial, the best song ever."
Wow.
Yeah. I guess it hit home because a lot of the people P talked about in this song, Ron grew up with them.
Yeah, shout out to Ron Artest, a.k.a.
Meta
Meta World
World
Peace,
Peace.
a.k.a. Lakers NBA champion.
Yeah, man. Can't take that away from him. Even though he feels terrible about it.
He don't feel terrible about the championship. Ron has survivor's remorse as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
from everyone that was on the Indiana Pacers team that wasn't able to go.
That went through it.
Yeah, he kind of did Jermaine O'Neal, Jamal Tinsley, and Reggie Miller dirty.
Yeah, man. Watch the match. If you guys get a chance,
Jackson won the championship. He good. Yeah.
If you guys get a chance, definitely watch the Malice at the Palace documentary on Netflix.
I like the other one better. I like the Ron Artest.
Oh yeah, you did mention that one. I didn't see that one.
So sorry guys, and I didn't mean to cut you off. So there's two documentaries. The Malice at the Palace documentary that's produced by Jermaine O'Neal that's on Netflix, right? Isn't as detailed as the Ron Artest one that is on Showtime. I promise you. Jermaine O'Neal is way more angry on that one, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he was angry on this one, so if he's more angry on that one,
like he real quick, they said that like Jermaine would like try to hang out with Ron, and Ron just refused to be his friend.
Damn,
like
word?
Jermaine would try because he was a team captain, so he would go out his way like, hey Ron, me and the fellas going out bowling tonight, and Ron would be like, nah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what Ron said. And I just really think like that's hilarious that Ron just did not like fuck with him.
That's fucking crazy. And then the angle that he was coming from, where he just like was guilty, like he was sitting there with his championship, guilty as fuck.
Yeah, guilty,
like feeling guilty as fuck.
And that's why in his press conference he like shouted all of them out and said thank you and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, hey man, Queensbridge guys are pretty stand up, man. At least they acknowledge their faults.
So the next song is "Do It," features Mike DeLorean, and it's produced by Rockwilder. Terrible song.
Yeah, I don't know what Rockwilder was thinking. Rockwilder's
I
always
hate
hit
this
or miss.
beat.
Rockwilder's always hit or miss, and I think because like he really, really goes out there with shit that he wants to produce. So I just think that like you either gonna get the Rockwilder,
yeah,
or you gonna get this shit.
Yeah, this is not good. I don't like this.
Remember he did the Bootylicious remix?
Oh, I remember that. They had a video to the remix with Missy, right?
Yeah, with me. That shit was terrible.
The Little skit is interesting. It features Big Noid and Littles, somebody named Littles.
Yeah.
It's produced by Prodigy. And this Littles person sounds like early Fab.
Does.
He sounds like early, like Fabulous Sport when that was his name.
Yes.
I guess he was trying to. This was like the way that people used to intro their artists. They would just like give them a little like a 1 minute of like just bars, and then they rap. And then I guess as a listener, you're supposed to be like, "Yo, who was that? I need more of that."
Yeah, that's how we got J Hood.
Yeah. That's how they were trying to give us Family, but nothing happened.
Damn it.
Man, I was looking forward to Family shit.
We all was, man.
But that takes us into YBE. YBE is produced by Prodigy and it features BG. See, now, so I'm not. And it's produced by Prodigy. If I didn't say that, I'm not mad at people not liking this song. I understand, but I'm a BG fan, so I fuck with this song.
I think it's funny how like New York artists were like picking out like their favorite Cash Money rappers, rappers, and like picking them to be on their tracks and shit like that. And the funny thing is Nori was the most right.
What do you mean?
When he got Wayne.
Oh, because he got Wayne.
So Nori worked with Wayne. Hov worked with Juvenile. Who like and Prodigy worked with BG. I forgot who did the song with Turk, but I just think it's funny that like Master P wasn't really like handing out his artist services like that, right? So I just thought it was really fucking fire that like we were giving acknowledgement to these artists from the South. Right? And like it was kind of like the Hot Boys, kind of like they were like they were allowed because that was a thing. Like you couldn't just work with these niggas. You couldn't just be like how it is now. Like you had to like reach out to the label and be like, hey, I would like a feature and all that shit.
Yeah, BG was like an early version of 21 Savage for me.
Really?
Like he was more flashy, but like his rap, his patterns and his flow. I didn't really listen to Soulja Slim like that.
Soulja Slim gives me 21 Savage vibes.
Oh, word.
Check him out.
All right. So I'll get into Soulja Slim then. Diamond is the next song. Features bars and hooks and is produced by Just Blaze. Not your average Just Blaze production.
This is Just Blaze showing his range, ladies and gentlemen. He's not a sample biter. He can do other things and on the keyboards.
Yeah, Kanye. But no, I did enjoy this. I enjoyed this one. It really shocked me that Just Blaze did this production.
Yeah, it just shows that like Just Blaze, like he's a talented producer. Also lets me know that like Prodigy was really getting like, I don't know what the budget was for this. Well, obviously at this time, like Just Blaze wasn't Just Blaze.
Just Blaze was just a year shy of being Just Blaze because Blueprint came out a year later.
Yes. So like I just always wonder like, damn, like this album has some really like big time like producers and stuff like that. If you think about it, if somebody told me that they have heavy production from Alchemist, Havoc, and Just Blaze and Rockwilder on the album, I'll be like, damn, what was the budget?
Yeah, in the early days. But no, I do like this one. Gunplay is the next one. Gunplay features Big Noid again, and it's produced by Rockwilder. How we feel about this Rockwilder production?
It's better than it's better than what was it, Littles? That Rockwilder did?
No, he did. I'll tell you right now. What was the other shit he did? He did. I think it was Do It.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
It was Do It. So it's better than Do It, but I'm still not impressed.
Yeah.
And I wonder, where the fuck is Rockwilder? Does he just run a studio?
I don't
now?
know. You know what's funny? Like when Versus was in their producer's bag, people was mentioning Rockwilder. I wouldn't want to see that.
I don't know who he would go against.
I don't know either.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Because people was mentioning Trackmasters and
Trackmasters would kill Rockwilder.
Yeah, they would.
But I enjoyed this song. As time starts winding down for this project, I'm just like, all right, cool. But I do like the next track that we're about to get into.
Yes, You Can Never Feel My Pain. It's produced by Rick Rude. I like this song a lot. This encompasses the kind of rapper that Prodigy is.
Yes.
Because Prodigy gives you so much. Like nobody made like these type of songs. It's reflective, it's gritty, it's unapologetic, it's like dark. It's all those things that like he gave you like little glimpses of in the album, but he really leaned into it on this song.
Yeah. Prodigy is one of those artists that you could tell like the things that he goes through, he's able to translate it well into his music. And he's probably like, and this is just me assuming, and what I really want to do is he wrote a book. I'm going to read his book.
Oh, that's what I meant to ask you earlier, if you read his book.
I did not, but as some of you guys know, like I'm really big on reading autobiographies by people, or biographies, or memoirs. I want to read his book because like I want to know. I want to try to find out if he was one of those. You know how some people can't, like, they don't share a lot with people, or they can't express themselves about what they're going through, but like they can do it through their art, through their music. And to me, what I gather is that Prodigy probably didn't talk about his feelings or things that he like had to deal with a lot. Maybe early on, maybe as he got older, he was able to like articulate it. But you could absolutely tell that he was able to get everything out through his music.
Yeah. I think from what I've heard, because I haven't read his autobiography yet either. But from what I heard, it's like one of the best autobiographies, especially in hip hop. I think because it's super open, and he wrote the majority of it when he was locked up, right?
When he was locked up, yeah.
So you have nothing but time to reflect when you know,
that's a fact,
in that condition. So I can't wait to read it.
That's dope. Yeah, man. So I wanted to revisit this album because I feel that Prodigy doesn't get talked about enough. And obviously he gets talked about a lot because he passed away. But I think that the stamp that Mobb Deep has left impacted on New York hip-hop mainly. But as far as a group or duo, my boy Sydney, who's an avid listener to the show, like he always argues that Mobb Deep and Outkast are duos and not groups. Groups have to be more than two people, but whatever. Mobb Deep are one of the greatest rap groups of all time, right? their music is kind of the soundtrack to what New York sounds like for a lot of people. And I feel that Prodigy is the voice of a lot of people from New York City. So to me, like, if Prodigy was like a superhero, right? And the reason why I say this is because you have ground level superheroes, you have like astronomical superheroes. Prodigy is like fucking Daredevil, bro. He takes care of his little area of fucking Queensbridge, and he gets shit fucking done. Now, if you're not into comic books and stuff like that, that won't make a lot of sense to you. But what I'm saying is Daredevil, he only fucks with Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
He only worries about that little fucking section of Manhattan, and he just makes sure anybody that comes into Hell's Kitchen, he's gonna bust their ass.
Y'all niggas keep that shit in Queens.
Yeah.
But
So
these blocks right here,
don't you do it. So for Prodigy, I just feel that like Prodigy has like his niche audience, which is actually a really large audience, right? And he just goes to them. He never strayed away. He never tried anything experimental. And some people would say that's his downfall, but I'll say that's his biggest strength, is that Prodigy was able to speak to an audience that was and stay loyal to that and not get out of the way. And you know, he's one of the greatest lyricists to ever rap. I just think that he just doesn't get his just due.
nigga, from 41st Street to 59th. Don't fuck with that. That's my turf.
So what's your rating, Reg?
I'm gonna go with. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 because it's a great intro to the type of artist that Prodigy is.
That's true.
And and if you don't get any, I don't know if it'll be my recommendation for anyone trying to get into Prodigy's music, because I would just tell them to listen to Mobb.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little tricky, but it has a lot of shit on here that I really fuck with. There's nothing out of 22 tracks. There's maybe 6 that I don't really fuck with.
Okay. So I'm gonna be honest, right? I really wanted to do this album, and I was really looking forward to it. I have to get this album 3.5 waffles out of 5, and it's because like there's too many tracks on this, and I really feel like if he would have cut it down, like it had more of a chance to be more of a perfect album.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't mind filler tracks though, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me on this album, like he left a lot. He gave us too much, and what I'm saying is that certain tracks just absolutely weren't needed, and he could have condensed it because some of the production on this album is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It seems like Prodigy just wanted to use everything that he had that he recorded for the album.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't fucking have to.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just one of those things. But I will say that this album was a part of like one of the greatest runs of hip hop for an artist, because to cap off that year, like I said again, like I said at the beginning, he was named the Source's Lyricist of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did with Keep It Thorough, having no hook, getting mad radio play, just goes to show you, like, you know what I'm saying, his artistry and what kind of artist he was. So I got to give him that. And yeah, rest in peace to Prodigy.
Rest in
I
peace.
really enjoyed this album. And one other thing, when I used to party promote, my friend Dax was really close to Prodigy. So he would bring Prodigy out all the time. And I regret so much that I never walked up to Prodigy and shook his hand. Prodigy is so standoffish and like just unapproachable that you just don't. And like, mind you, like I'm a big dude. Like I just didn't want to bother Prodigy. I wasn't scared. Yeah. I just like he just. I was like, yo, it don't look like he enjoys being in the club. It looks like he just here, like niggas. Like I feel like it looked like he was like in the Sprinter van with niggas. And they was like, yo, we gotta go somewhere. And they just made like, come on, man, just come to the club with us.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, shout out to his man Bully. Bully is my boy. Like I fucks with you, Bully. That was Prodigy's right hand man. I used to always be with
Prodigy doesn't strike me as the club friendly type.
Yeah, he did not. He literally would go, and the funny thing is, he would smoke bogeys in the club. It would be fucking hilarious. This nigga just smoking cigarettes in the club while everybody's popping bottles.
Yo, if I have to be me where I go.
Like I'll say that much. Like he was always cool. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, and I would see him out with Dax. Dax couldn't make it for this interview. You remember Dax, right?
Yeah, I know Dax.
My man Dax Empire. But yeah, that's just my closing statement on that.
Rest in peace to Prodigy. I have been First Class Reg.
And I'm Taurian B.
We are out of here.
Hey, Reg, you shave your balls?
I do shave my balls. I do.